Picture this. You're scrolling through Instagram at 2 a.m. Your thumb moves on autopilot. Face after face. Smile after smile. Beach photos. Gym selfies. Brunch plates. Everyone's life looks perfect. But then you think of that friend. The one who's never there. No profile picture updates. No stories. No posts. It's like they don't exist online. And that silence. It's louder than you think. You know what's wild? While everyone's fighting for attention online, there's a whole group of people who just don't play the game. No selfies. No living my best life captions. Nothing. And here's the thing, psychology says this isn't about being shy or antisocial. It's about something way deeper. These people see something the rest of us are blind to. They understand a truth about human nature, about identity, about control, that most of us trade away without even realizing it. Today, we're going inside their minds. Because once you understand why they stay silent, you might never look at your own feed the same way again. Number 1, the invisibility choice. Let's start with the obvious question, why? Why would anyone choose to be invisible in a world that rewards visibility? Close your eyes for a second. Imagine walking into a crowded room. Everyone's talking, laughing, showing off. The loudest people get the most attention. That's social media, right? Constant noise. Constant performance. Now imagine someone standing in the corner. Not hiding. Not scared. Just watching. Calm. Centered. Unbothered. That's them. And here's what they've figured out that most people miss entirely. Control. Psychologists call it high privacy orientation, but strip away the jargon and it's simple, they've decided who. Think about it. Every photo you post, every caption you write, you're handing a piece of yourself to strangers. You're saying, here. Judge me. Validate me. Tell me I matter. But the people who don't post, they already know they matter. They don't need 200 likes to prove their birthday was fun. They don't need comments to confirm they look good. They've built something most people spend their whole lives searching for online. Self-validation. And here's what's crazy, the research backs this up. Studies on privacy-conscious individuals show they report lower anxiety and higher life satisfaction than heavy posters. They're not missing out. They're opting out of a game that was designed to make you feel like you're always losing. Number 2, the identity fortress. Alright, let's go deeper. You ever notice how some people seem solid? Like they know exactly who they are, no matter what's happening around them. Psychology has a term for this, self-concept clarity. Imagine your identity like a building. For most people, social media is like a construction crew that shows up every day and starts knocking down walls, repainting rooms, adding windows based on what's trending. One week you're a gym bro. Next week you're intellectual and deep because you posted a quote. Your identity shifts with every post, every reaction, every algorithm change. But those who don't post, their building is a fortress. Solid foundation. No renovations needed. Here's why that matters. When you're constantly sharing online, you're constantly checking, do people like this version of me? Should I be more like that person? Is this who I really am, or just who gets more engagement? It's exhausting. But when you step back from the performance, something powerful happens. You start listening to yourself instead of the crowd. Your values become your own, not borrowed from influencers or shaped by trends. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people with high self-concept clarity are less likely to experience identity confusion, less prone to social comparison, and more resistant to peer pressure. Translation. They can't be shaken. Because they're not built on likes. They're built on self-knowledge. And in a world where everyone's trying to figure out who they are through a screen, that's a superpower. Number 3, the confidence paradox. Now here's where it gets interesting. You'd think people who don't post pictures have low self-esteem, right? Like they're hiding because they don't feel good enough. Wrong. It's actually the opposite. Psychologists call it secure self-esteem, and it's the most stable form of confidence that exists. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine two people. Person A posts a selfie. Checks their phone every 10 minutes. Feels amazing when likes pour in. Feels crushed when they don't. Their mood lives and dies by notifications. Person B doesn't post. Goes to the gym. Hangs with friends. Enjoys their day. Doesn't even think about documenting it. Their confidence? Untouchable. Because it doesn't depend on anyone's approval. That's the difference between fragile confidence and secure confidence. Fragile confidence needs constant feeding. It's like a plant that dies without sunlight. Every like, every comment, every follow is another drop of water keeping it alive. Secure confidence. That's a cactus in the desert. It doesn't need anything external. It just exists. Strong. Steady. Unshaken. And here's the kicker, neuroscience research shows that people who rely on external validation actually weaken their brain's reward system over time. You need more and more likes to feel the same high. It's literally the same mechanism as addiction. But people who don't post, they've protected their dopamine system. They get their validation from real achievements, finishing a project, having a deep conversation, hitting a personal goal. Not from a heart icon on a screen. Number 4, the thinker's advantage. Let's talk about something most people don't notice, the quality of their thoughts. The quiet thinkers. They operate on a different frequency. Psychologists call them internally driven, meaning they judge themselves by their own standards, not by what's popular or what gets engagement. Picture this, you're at a party. Someone says something funny. Most people immediately think, should I tweet this? Would this make a good Instagram caption? But the ones who don't post, they just enjoy the moment. They're present. Fully there. No mental screenshots. No thinking about angles or lighting. Just living. And over time, this creates a massive cognitive advantage. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that people who spend less time on social media have better focus, better critical thinking skills, and stronger emotional regulation. Why? Because their brain isn't constantly in performance mode. They're not curating. They're not filtering. They're not performing. They're thinking. Deeply. Slowly. With intention. They ask better questions. They make better decisions. They see patterns others miss, because they're not distracted by the noise. And in a world where attention is the most valuable currency, that might be the ultimate flex. Number 5, the comparison trap. Alright, real talk. You know that feeling when you're having a good day, then you open Instagram and suddenly feel like your life is trash? Yeah. That's social comparison theory in action. Here's how it works, your brain is wired to measure your success against others. Back in the day, you compared yourself to your neighbors, your coworkers, maybe 50 people max. But now, you're comparing yourself to millions. Celebrities. Influencers. That guy from high school who somehow has abs and a yacht. And here's the brutal truth, social media only shows the highlight reel. The 1% of life that looks perfect. But your brain doesn't know that. It just sees everyone winning while you're sitting in your room in sweatpants eating cereal. Studies from Stanford University found that heavy social media users report higher rates of depression, anxiety, and feelings of inadequacy, even when their actual lives are objectively fine. Because they're measuring their behind the scenes against everyone else's highlight reel. But people who don't post, they've opted out of the comparison game entirely. They don't see the yacht. They don't see the abs. They don't see the fake life. They see their own goals. Their own progress. Their own reality. And psychologically, that's freedom. No envy. No jealousy. No, I'm not good enough. Just peace. So here's what we've learned. If someone doesn't post their photos online, don't assume they're shy. Don't assume they're insecure. Don't assume they're missing out. They might just be the most mentally grounded person you know. They've chosen privacy over popularity. Self-awareness over performance. Inner confidence over external validation. They don't need to be seen to feel seen. And honestly, that's the realest form of confidence that exists. So next time you're about to post something, ask yourself, am I doing this for me? Or am I doing this for the likes? Because the answer might reveal more about you than any photo ever could. If you love understanding the psychology behind human behavior, hit that subscribe button. Because on this channel, we don't just scroll through life. We decode it.